Of course, the crystal shards themselves didn't protect people from the miasma. That was the myrrh that caravans gathered every year in order to keep their towns safe from harm. Oh, Crystal Chronicles. As Miss Shizuka lectured in front of the class, I doodled absent-mindedly in my notebook. Speaking of which. And so the convention is over, and I almost feel like I'm homesick. It's not the same kind of thing, but I wish I could go back and forwards. I wish I could. Man, this is confusing. Oh my god. What if he died? Screw him, screw this. Wow, that's funny. I miss the convention. Yeah, we know. It was so much fun hanging out with everyone in Jirard, learning about video games with Jirard, wandering the convention in the city with Jirard. I sighed dreamily. What if every day was like that, and I got to spend all my free time with him? He would teach me all there was to know about video games, talking me through all the stories I hadn't played and showing me the completion bonuses I've never gotten. We would laugh together and share food together, and then finally one day, on our 50th wedding anniversary, when Jirard was an old shriveled prune of a man, and I was a spitfire of an old woman. I would hand him his very own Princess Pumpernickel figure, and he would cry in joy as he looked at the figure and completed the quest that brought us together.
You.
Miss Mizuno? Miss Mizuno? Yes, what's wrong? Did they or did they not breed cows in the fields of fun? The fields of fun? What? Disappointing. Pay more attention, please, or I'll be forced to have you stay after class. Yes, ma'am. Sheesh, Hana, where was your mind at? Nowhere. Don't even worry about it. Oh, jeez. I was really losing it. How completely embarrassing. That's what love will do for you. But of course, when the time came for lunch and I was finally able to see Jirard again, I went shooting out the door.
Hana!
I shot out into the hallway and was about to head for the staircase when... Boom! Sudden beard. Jirard came running down the hallway in just as much of a rush as me. I stopped by the door, flushed.
Hi.
Jirard, hi! Do you have somewhere to go today? No, I was just, I was really hungry today. Jirard blushed and avoided my eyes, but came to stand beside me. Neither of us could keep the smiles off of our faces. Anyway, ready to head for lunch?
Yeah.
I'm starving. As I pushed open the door, and Jirard passed me by, I saw Mai and Jirard standing across the way. Oh, it's currently raining over here. I wonder if you can hear all the thunder and whatnot. They were both staring at me with smug looks on their faces. I knew exactly what they were thinking.
What?
Nothing. Jirard and I waltzed out into campus together. Imagine that literally. That would be funny. The sun soaking our faces. My mood was lifted as high as the clear blue sky, and I beamed. I felt really good today. It's so weird to be back at school after the con. Isn't it? I miss it all. Me too. Yeah. Okay. Me too. It was great to be able to see my friends all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It's so tough to be separated from everybody now. Yeah, it's lame. I wish every day could be like a con, even after we graduate from Asagao. But that would be pretty hard, wouldn't it? I'd have to buy more than a mansion, maybe an entire row of houses just for my friends to live in. But that would be so fun.
Right?
Wouldn't it? Giddily, we entered the cafeteria, chatting animatedly. I hate that word and they use it so often. It was almost as though there was no one else in the room but Jirard. Anyways, Hana, I was wondering, I'm going to the city today to check for Princess Pumpernickel. There's a lead in a small shop there. Would you like to go with me? I know you're not too into IBKs, but of course I would. Oh,
really?
Great. I wouldn't mind learning more about them either. Chippy Yupa is really cute. You like her then? Oh, of course. She's on my desk lamp. I see her every morning when I wake up. I feel like we already had this conversation. That's great to hear. It's really cute. Pardon? So I'll see you after class. Definitely. Somehow the rest of the guys got to the table before us. Apparently we slowed down somewhere on our walk here. Yeah, you did. Oh, we sat down ready to rejoin them in normal conversation, but they dropped whatever they were talking about as we approached. Oh no. They're talking mad garbage about us. I side-eyed Mai, but she just laughed. Whatever, I didn't care if my feelings for Jirard were obvious, just as long as he didn't find out. What? That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you want your significant other to find out your feelings for them? Shaking my head, I set my sights on the next few hours. Soon Jirard and I would be on the train again, heading towards the city. So immediately after school, Jirard and I raced onto the train station for the very first train to the city, giggling like maniacs. We made it to the stop just as it was boarding and piled into a compartment, wheezing like numbskulls. Looks like we got our exercise for today, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Oh my gosh, she sounds like she's about to die. Where's this shop we're heading to anyways? Uh-oh, remix. It just opened, that's part of the reason why I'm heading there. I need to put my feelers out. What? The guy seemed like he was a big IBK collector, so if anyone is bound to have it, it's him. Anyways, how's your tournament practice going? Oh, right, that. Good for some reason? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Oh. Does Jirard miss me as much as I miss him? It doesn't seem realistic, but I think I'm finally starting to hope. Of course he is. Did you not fucking... Oh, right, that. After the excitement of the convention, I forgot that I still needed to practice for the tournament while I was here. Seeing the guilty look on my face, Jirard shrugged.
Well...
Don't worry about it, we've got 3 weeks, so there's still time. Yeah. 3 weeks always seems like it's a lot of time. Ooh, is this foreshadowing? Until it's not anymore.
Oh...
I know what you mean. I haven't had time to practice much either.
Really?
Don't you do quick plays or something?
You are correct.
They're called speedruns, and I don't do just any speedruns, but completion of speedruns. Uh-huh.
Complete it.
Get every item in the game and complete it as fast as you can. It's just as time consuming as you think, and it takes a lot of practice. My event also starts the earliest of all of them, and goes the latest, so it's a bit of an ordeal. I had no idea games could be so stressful.
Huh.
We get breaks, and it's nothing compared to competitive RTS players or even MOBA games. Have you even seen those? There he was again, spitting out jargon like I was supposed to know what it meant. It's not necessarily jargon, it's just, you know. Like, to me, jargon is like words created by gamers, not like, because what he was saying were genres, and that's not really jargon. I shook my head slowly. They're crazy, like real athletes. They can earn real athlete money, too. It's crazy how much things have changed in the last few years. Yeah, that's true, actually. Oh, God. Games are art. Games are sports. Games are trash. Games are friendships. Games are communities. Games are stories. Games are characters. Games are creations. That they are. It's such a big, wide world out there. I can't imagine how anyone could just not be interested in it or write them off, but a lot of people do. I felt like I somehow touched a nerve, but nodded politely. I didn't grow up with games, so I never thought about how important they could be to people. The train shuddered to a stop and a low chime played. Jirard and I headed into the city.
Well...
Super ready athletic. Well, think about it this way. None of us would be friends without games. Or maybe some of us might be, but not all of us. We have this thing to unite us when everything else fails. So true. And remember how I was talking about having all my friends live in houses near each other? That might not ever happen, but we'll always be able to play games together, and that's basically the same thing. Uh-huh. I nodded slowly. Jirard's friends were clearly very important to him, and so were games. Games are very important. I mean, we're in a game. Hana, you are a game. So then, do you have plans for the future? Oh, whoops. That was weird. I used his voice. Let's try that one again. So then, do you have plans for the future? Jirard looked up from his phone, glancing across the street, then beckoned for me to follow him. Oh, he's got plans. Future plans?
Nope.
He beamed at me, then led the way across a crosswalk.
Really?
Across a crosswalk. Wow, that's weird. No, just no. I hurried after him, completely confused. Much of my life was spent in anxiety for one particular reason. I did not have a passion. I would watch my mother and my father work together at their jobs, complementary work, both dedicating all their time and energy to their own creative pursuits. Oh, that was a big one. And wondered whether something was wrong with me. My dad would pat my head and tell me to live my life happily, because I did not need to know now, but that didn't help. Without passion, life was incomplete. That was the picture I got. You just didn't know what to do. I didn't have the desire to keep working on something just because I enjoyed it. Eventually I would get tired, and if I didn't have to spend more time on that thing, I wouldn't. Yeah, I know that feeling. The only times I did were when other people were involved. I got good grades, so I'd be praised, and so I was good at something. If nothing else, if not bold or creative or athletic, I was smart. But that was all I ever felt like I had going for me. Yeah, no, I haven't figured that out yet. But you're so talented, you could pick anything you wanted to do.
Huh.
All I really want to do is entertain, or maybe play video games. Yeah. It'd be great to find a way to do both, but I don't know that there is yet. Maybe I'll find something though, or I can create my own thing. That. I'm sure it'll work itself out.
Jirard.
Rather than inspire me for the first time, Jirard's positive attitude grated my nerves. Things aren't always as easy as that, though. You need to survive. You can't just not pick a field because you haven't figured it out. You can't just create your own. That's what jobs are, though. They're just creations. Creations out of necessity. Ugh. There are bills to pay. Not yet. Jirard looked at me quizzically and I stopped myself. Yeah, Hana, you also have to remember he's rich. They're all rich. Exactly. Right, he probably wouldn't understand what it was like to worry about where your next paycheck came from. These people, all of them, came from wealthy families. They didn't have the same problems I did. Never mind.
All right.
Well, here we are. Jirard pointed to a small shop with an open sign in the window. It didn't even have a title over its entryway yet. A paper hung on the door with Jaeger's Vines in black Sharpie. After you. Jirard and I stepped into the shop. It was small, cramped, and somewhat dingy. Rows of wire racks stood across the room every few feet. If they were placed any closer together, there wouldn't be any room to walk. I peered at the different things lining the shelves. Game discs, portfolios of cards, small figures with numbers across their bases, dice, plushies, bouncy balls, as Jirard made a beeline for the man at the counter.
Hello.
You wouldn't happen to have a Princess Pumpernickel figure lying around, would you? The man behind the counter scoffed, as if the answer should have been obvious. If it ever comes in, could you let me know? Jirard exchanged information with the man, who tisked him. I could tell from the way he was shaking his head, dreadlocks trembling. Woolly? That he thought Jirard's search was hopeless. We returned to the street outside, Jirard no worse for wear than before. As we headed back to the train station, I finally asked what had been on my mind for some time. Jirard, why exactly do you collect things?
I like what I like.
I like what I like. Why? Well, because I like them, of course. Okay, that's fine, but why do you need to complete your collections? It seems like a lot more work than it's worth, and it probably costs a lot, too.
Well,
He's rich, Hana. Jesus. He stroked his beard carefully as we sat across the crosswalk. There it is, that phrase again. I mean, why do people do anything? That's a hard question to answer. In the end, it's because I want to. And completing things gives me a sense of accomplishment and closure. I get a sense of satisfaction when I look over everything I've done. I know it sounds silly, but in another way I look at the collections and I remember how I've changed.
see what I mean?
It's like, oh, that used to matter to me a lot. He shook his head. I don't know. Have you ever collected something? Yeah, but never on purpose.
Really?
Never? Someone just gave you all the things you collected and you never bought something for yourself? Nope. I stopped mid-sentence. There was a shop window to my right, a craft shop with lovely patterned papers and yarns.
Hana.
You okay?
What?
Are you okay? I blinked. I stopped in the middle of the road. A man walking past scoffed at me, annoyed that I was in his way. I stuck my tongue out at his back. The paper here is really pretty, that's all. You like origami?
Yeah.
My parents are really creative and they taught me how to fold things. I got really good at it after around the time my mother passed. I haven't done it much since then, though.
Hey.
You should do it more often. It seems like you like it. No, that's okay. Come on, we're going to miss the train. As we sat in our compartment on the way back to Asagao, I couldn't help but review the conversation in my mind. I understood that it was just the way Jirard was, but it didn't seem a good enough reason for all the effort he was going through. It was a figure, after all. It wouldn't give him lasting happiness or anything. Or what if it did? What if just having it, and having that set completed, gave him everlasting happiness? What is wrong with you, Hana? You're such a jerk. I love you. Jirard was staring out the window, a troubled look on his face. You know, thinking about it more... Uh-oh. At this point, I might do it more because it's who I am than anything else. Do what? Drugs. Collect things. It's fun, and it's a part of me by now. And it's a part of me by now. It gives me a quest to go after and something to define myself by, right?
Exactly.
Did you just exactly yourself? I'm dedicated and disciplined and persistent, and if I work hard enough, I'm rewarded for it. Are you? I like that feeling. It feels like I can impact things. I think that's something everybody needs in their life. Yeah. Impact things? Jirard nodded. Don't you have something like that? Oh no. Flashback. No. By the time we got back to campus, night had fallen. We jogged for the entrance and Jirard escorted me back to the Primrose house.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming with me, Hana. No, thank you. It was fun to spend time with you again. I'm sorry you didn't find Pumpernickel. Jirard shrugged. That's okay. It gives me something to look forward to. God, he's so positive. He pumped a fist into the air.
Finish it.
Shouldn't that be completed? Well, whatever. Someday I shall prevail.
See you later.
Anyways, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye, Hana. Have a good night. I headed for my dorm room. A resolution formed in my mind. Wait, hold that thought. Okay, never mind. If Jirard was going to find Princess Pumpernickel, he'd need more than just his eyes looking for him. Tomorrow, I would find Princess Pumpernickel. Tomorrow? Jesus. And that's how I found myself riding the train after school the next day, not even taking the time to change. Gross. If there was a way I could find Jirard's elusive Princess Pumpernickel, and then I could present it to him. I wanted to make him happy, and if he was happy, I would be happy too. Seems like a very strange plan. I wandered the city aimlessly, watching people float by me with a sinking feeling. Where was I even supposed to go to find it? I wanted to check some out. What? I wanted to check some out of the shops. Check some what? Whatever. I wanted to check some, like, check a little out of the shops, I guess. Maybe junk and antique shops and the collections of old nerdy stores run by people who were just as big as fans as Jirard was. I'd run willy-nilly into the city without even a plan to my name. In the sigh, I pulled out my phone and typed IBK figures into the search engine. Oh, there was one only a few feet away? How did you... What? Wait, what? Like a figure. You just Googled where a figure was and apparently it's just... What? That's weird. I zoomed in on the map trying to figure out where the hell I was in relation to the directions it was giving. It seemed to be on the other side of this block, but which way was I supposed to go? I glanced up and around me, then came to a full stop. There was an alley just to my right. Through it I could see the orange and purple sign of Neil's Electronics and etc.
Yay!
Awesome. Awesome. I started... Oh no. We're about to get junked. I started in the alley. What a convenient shortcut. I hated navigating cities more than anything, as much as I liked the cities themselves. I wasn't familiar enough with them, so they were incredibly daunting, especially with all the way people brushed past you like they didn't care at all. It's because people are jerks. But as I reached the middle of the alley, a looming figure stepped out in front of me. What? That is quite the pompadour, sir. Why, hello there, miss. A man with a mile-long pompadour stepped out to block my path to the store, twirling a chain with something glinting on its end. Uh-oh. My eyes following the glinting thing, trying to catch a glimpse of what it was, and noticing this, he brought it to a standstill. My heart stopped. It was a knife. This got I was right? Oh god, this got dire real quick. That's a real nice backpack you got there. Come from a rich family, do you? No. I backed away slowly, clutching my backpack to my chest with both hands. My entire month's allowance was inside of it. Without it, how was I supposed to eat? You ask your rich friends? The robber sneered. I don't suppose you'd want to let me have a look inside of that, eh? Maybe you even want to give it to me.
No!
I turned around and started to run, but didn't get far. A sharp jolt of pain shot through my ankle, and I cried out. Jesus, this is super dire. This is omega dire. I fell face first into the ground, biting my lip as I fell. Ow. The iron taste of blood tickled my tongue, and I spat it to the side. I tried to stand, but the pain made me fall back to the ground. The robber walked casually up to me. Easy as taking candy from a baby. He held the knife in one hand, reaching out to me with another. I scooted away as quickly as I could, eventually running into the wall. There was nowhere left to go, but the knife kept coming closer. Tears in my eyes, I flung my arms over my head. Jirard, help! Whoa.
Huh.
Oh, what? Well, what's going on here? And Jirard was there. I lowered my arms, completely flabbergasted. Jirard stood in the alleyway, a semi-pleasant look on his face. As if he were greeting an old friend instead of confronting an armed robber. Does that look pleasant to you? You!
Hey!
Baggy, so we meet again. The robber, Baggy, stepped away from me, holding the knife up towards Jirard. They seemed to know each other somehow. Jirard stepped between me and Baggy, a dangerous glint in his eye. I quickly scooted behind him.
Try.
If you wouldn't mind laying off Hana, that would be great. I doubt you'd like Mistress Folletta to hear about this. What? You wouldn't dare. I'd slit your throat before you got the chance. Oh my god. This music is intense. Jirard pulled his cell phone out of his pocket. It already opened in his hand. He turned the screen towards Baggy, thumb hovering over the send button. Would you? Ugh. Baggy glanced around himself, trying to figure out some way to escape. Finally, he looked back to Jirard, rage practically shooting off of him. You haven't heard the last of me, Jirard. Someday I will have my revenge.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh my god. What? Oh my god. This is... What just happened? What the... Yeah, tell it to your mother. Make sure you tell her hi. I will, she says hi back. Nice. What the frick just happened? Did I just get tournament points out of that for nothing? No. Oh, whoa, what's this? Jirard lives in a fairy world as much as I want to believe that if you close your eyes and click your heels 3 times, everything will come true and you'll be happy. And in the job of your dreams and everything will be fine. It just won't. Life isn't like that. But maybe it is for someone like him. Maybe you need to be more optimistic. Maybe you can be a badass like Jirard. Oh my god. Baggy pocketed his knife and wandered out of the alley, heading to who knows where. Jirard watched him until he was out of sight, then bent down next to me.
Hana.
Are you okay? What are you doing all the way out here, in an alley by yourself? How did you know that man? Me and Baxter used to go to school together. Such a card, that one. Card? But are you okay? No! I got almost stabbed. Tears filled my eyes. I was so relieved to see him. The impact of what just happened was finally hitting me, and my throat tightened until I couldn't reply. Jirard's gaze traveled from my face to my hands, clasped tightly around my ankle.
Hold the phone. What?
I don't think that's the appropriate response, Jirard. Come on. Wait, are you hurt? Oh! More thumbnails! So many thumbnails. Oh, God. Jirard swept me up in his arm like a crazy man, as if we were carrying a princess. Look at that face. Look at that face. His head is huge. Or is Hana super tiny? Or both? He smiled at me, readjusting his grip. I put my arms around his neck, instinctively trying to make it easier for him. Don't worry, I've got you.
Jirard.
I'm taking you to the infirmary. You can't afford hospital fees, right? Oh, he's so awful at hearing. Don't worry, I'll always be here when you need me. What the frick is going on? You were like drunk in this very alley, and now you're a hero. George started out of the alley. As soon as we emerged into the street, people started to stare, giving Jirard very strange looks. What's wrong with carrying your girl? My mind finally caught up with what was happening, and I buried my face into his shoulder. Yeah. Jirard, put me down. I'm fine. I can walk on my own.
Nope.
No. Under no circumstances. What if it gets worse? Besides, you're hardly heavy at all. She does look very tiny. So he said, though I could feel his shoulders starting to strain beneath me. I no longer saw the people around me, and all I felt were Jirard's arms and the steady bobbing motion of his walk. It was comforting and steady, and I realized what could possibly have happened to me had Jirard not been there. And I started to sob, unable to hold it in any longer. Jirard, I was so scared. Jirard patted me as gently as he could from the way he was awkwardly holding me.
Hana.
Well, you don't need to be anymore. I'm here for you. Oh. Jirard's shoulder muffled my sobs, and I didn't pull away from him until we got back to Asagao. Jirard pulled open the door to the nurse's office, carrying me through. What? Mr. McPasta? Like creepypasta? Because he's very creepy. Mr. McPasta barely even looked up from his desk. With a single glance, he pointed me to a bed in the back of the room. Jirard placed me gently into it, then shook out his arms. He was breathing rather heavily, but was doing his best to hide it. Shame crept down my neck, but Jirard didn't complain. He probably didn't want me to feel bad.
Are you feeling alright?
Are you feeling alright? I think I hurt my ankle. How did that happen? I tripped onto a knife. Creeps. Creeps? Ah! Creeps made raised an eyebrow but took a cursory glance at my ankle. Then he poked it. Does this hurt? Yow! It's only twisted. Get some rest and it'll get better. Oh, okay. He glanced from me to Jirard, and then smiled a creepy smile. You mean that one? I've got to run an errand real quick, but I'm sure I can leave you in his care. Okay. Why do you have x-rays? But Creeps left his coat sweeping out behind him like the wings of a great white bat.
Hana.
Why were you in that alley in the first place? Why were you wandering the city alone? It's not like walking around the city is that dangerous. What just happened, Hana? It's pretty dangerous, apparently. Yeah, but it seems you like the street smarts people get when they're raised near cities. Touché. Although I could just as easily ask you the same question.
Hana.
Fine. I was there looking for Princess Pumpernickel. I thought I could check around and maybe if I found it... I flushed and trailed off Jirard's side. Hana, I have every store in a 300-mile radius on watch and ready to alert me if it comes into stock. You don't need to worry about yourself trying to find it for me. Why are you going through all this trouble? Like you don't have to go through a ton of trouble for me, for all of us. I just wanted to repay you. Oh. Because I love you. I bit my lip. And there's another reason. Kind of.
Well...
See, I had a collection myself when I was younger. Or something like a collection. When I was little, my mom got sick. Really, really sick. It was basically guaranteed she was going to die, but as a little girl, I didn't understand that. I just saw my dad suffering as she grew weaker, my mom stroking my face as she gradually lost the will to keep fighting. But I heard the myth of the 1,000 paper cranes. If you can fold 1,000 origami cranes, your heart's desire will be granted. At least that's how I understood it at the time. So I tried. I tried really, really hard to fold 1,000 paper cranes. But in the end, I only made it to around 700 before my mother died. As my dad and I stood by her bed, I kept thinking to myself, if only I had been better, if only I had been faster. If I could have folded 1,000 cranes, she would have lived.
Hana.
So when I see you trying so hard to finish your own collection, I guess it just reminds me a little of little Hana. I want to grant her wish, even if I can't fulfill her heart's desires. Hana, I'm so sorry.
No!
It's okay. I'm a little surprised myself. I always figured I just wanted to help you out. I didn't connect it to the memory until just now. It's silly, isn't it? I playfully bonked myself on the head, but Jirard didn't even crack a smile. So then, the origami yesterday. I nodded. That's why I stopped folding origami. I haven't really found much joy in it since then. That's why I don't want to go back. But the paper in that shop was beautiful. For the first time, I almost wanted to start again. Jirard searched my face, then he took my hand in his.
Thank you.
Hana, thank you for trying so hard to help me. It's no problem, really, I want to. Hey, creeps. Creeps me past. Wow. You two done talking? Hana needs some rest, a good nap, and some crutches to get back to her room, and she should be good as new within a day or two.
Yes!
Jesus. Yeah! That's great! In that case, I'll leave you to rest.
Right.
I grabbed his sleeve as soon as he stood to leave, then glanced at the floor. Thank you for saving me.
Sure, I'll do what I can.
If I had to, I'd save you 1,000 times more. Whatever it took to keep you safe and happy.
Bye!
I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Jirard turns toward the door, and as he pulled it open, he looked at me again.
I promise.
Don't forget, I'll always come help when you need me. And then he was gone. Creep sighed next to me. Lovebirds these days, I swear. Anyway, have a good night. He shook his head, then drew the curtains around my bed. I stared at the infirmary curtains in front of me, distinctly aware of Mr. McPasta's every move. For a while it was silent. He was clicking around and typing on the computer, probably entering in my medical information. I shifted, trying to get comfortable enough to fall asleep, but Mr. McPasta's presence wasn't something that was very soothing. That's what I was thinking anyways, until I heard him giggling. When his giggles finally faded away, I caught the faint meow of a cat. Then the giggles started again. Oh, does he have a cat? Oh, he's watching cat videos. That's hilarious. He was watching cat videos on the internet? I chuckled myself, nestling into my pillow. If he liked cats, he couldn't be that bad of a guy. Or is he even worse? The sound of cat videos sang me to sleep.